let's get out to NewsNation senior correspondent Laura Ingle, who is live outside Baltimore with some exclusive new details in that Rachel Morin case. You know, Laura, we know police now have a suspect in custody. You are there live along the trail, and you also have exclusive reaction from Rachel's family.
We do. Hi, Nichole. I am actually standing right at the entrance of the Ma and Pa Heritage Trail. This is a very popular hiking and running trail in this area in the Bel Air sector outside of Baltimore. And this is the trail that Rachel Morin took on August 5th of 2023 when somebody took her life as she was about a mile in there. And as we've been talking about the arrest of the suspect on late Friday night, 23-year-old Victor Martinez Hernandez, who came across the border illegally, according to investigators, has been charged. He was found in Tulsa, Oklahoma, as we've been reporting. And now the battle has been on of who gets him first, because he is accused of a murder in El Salvador in early of last year. He is accused of a home invasion and attacking a 9-year-old little girl and her mother in Los Angeles at the beginning of last year. Then there's this big gap of time where we don't know where he was or what he was doing until August of last year, where he's now accused in the brutal rape and murder of Rachel Morin here along this hiking trail. We have just learned from local authorities, Nichole, that he has waived his extradition. He was arrested in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Everybody's been wondering who he's going to go to first, and we've just learned that he's waived that extradition. That means that within the next 10, possibly more days, he could be coming here and he will be facing charges in the state. And that is exactly where people want him here that are connected to this case. That is exactly where the loved ones of Rachel Morin want him to be held accountable first. Before he is held on anything else, they want him to answer to those charges. Earlier today, I have been speaking with the father of Rachel Morin's oldest daughter. His name is Matt McMahon. Here's what he told me about the suspect.
He's just a horrible person that needs to never set foot into a free world again. He needs to be behind bars his whole life, and I want him to live a very long life and hate every single second of that long life.
All right, so we've also learned from local authorities that once the extradition is taken care of, the suspect will be brought back here and he will be held at a detention facility that's actually very close to this running trail. And I asked some details about how he was going to be held and where. He will be held in this facility that holds about 300 other inmates, and it is a minimum and maximum security facility. And then we'll get on to the court dates. But as you mentioned, and as we've been talking about, the immigration status is so important. And we've learned from our border correspondent, Allie Bradley, that there are multiple offenses of him crossing over our border multiple times. It does appear as though he came through in the El Paso sector. So we'll get some more reporting on that as we move along with these rapidly moving developments in this case. But a relief to the family members and loved ones of Rachel Morin that somebody has been caught. But of course, the question of why and how, why did this happen, and how long when he was on the loose, did he do anything else? Are there other victims out there? DNA, a very critical part of this investigation, and a hat tip to everyone involved, because we know that there was a lot of legwork that went into this. A lot of multi-agencies worked together to bring the suspect into custody in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So now we wait. Nichole.
Yeah. Well, and Laura, speaking of that DNA, I mean, how were police able to connect somebody wanted in California to this killing in Maryland and then make an arrest in Oklahoma?
So interesting, right? Because when you're talking about this suspect, we're talking about somebody who doesn't have, a driver's license, a passport, a birth certificate here, no fingerprints. There was no record of this guy. So what we have learned is it was a tip that was called in that led investigators to a location where the suspect was believed to have been recently. They found some belongings of his. They checked it for DNA, and then that's when things matched up, because there's only two types of DNA that's really held when it comes to CODIS and that law enforcement system. It's people who have committed offenses, and then there's that unknown DNA from crime scenes that has to be checked. So it is our understanding that that's how everything went down. It came up as a match after that important tip. And I do want to mention one other thing, Nichole, that the loved ones of Rachel Morin are telling us that they hope by us telling this story, by continuing to report on what's going on right now, that more people will come forward about this suspect, about Victor Martinez Hernandez, because there's a lot more that could have happened in these last few months about where he's been, what states and jurisdictions he's been at, what other kind of crime scenes might he be connected to. You know, all of that needs to be checked out.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.